Hey everybody, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for the beginning of July 2013. Thanks as always for watching, and I think I'm on time this time. But that's due to the fact that I had a very short week this week, and that's including a back order. So there you go. Before I get started, as always, I want to plug my friends here, especially one of my best friends in the world, best in the world, my student, my bro, TheMtVernonKid. Thanks as always. And I always want to thank, and I need to do this more often, but I need to thank the good people at Arkham Comics for the books that I get, especially, you know, Ken, Sarah, my girlfriend Jennifer. I love you, baby. My good friends at Dark Avenger Inc. Plus and Fast Stack of Comics and Deadpoolzilla and Zilla. I just watched your Lone Ranger review. Awesome. Was it really that bad? Woo. And I hope everybody had a happy and safe 4th of July. And to my brother, once again, I hope you had a good birthday, bro. My actual brother. Alright, we're going to start off with independent. We're going to start off with IDW. This is the back order that I had to get because I missed out on this last week. And thanks again, Sarah, for ordering this for me. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 23. This is the second cover done by Kevin Eastman. I love that cover. I saw the first cover and I prefer this one. This one was badass. You know, Leonardo surrounded by all those foot soldiers. This is good stuff. God, Kevin Eastman is still doing an awesome job on the writing. I swear, Kevin Eastman could... I wish he could write this book forever. This was so well done. This is the next part of City Fall. And in here, we get to see two different stories being told. It's a two-story split, but not the way Detective Comics does it. Both stories are being told at the same time, but like two different perspectives. From the first perspective, we got Master Splinter, Michelangelo, Raphael, Donatello, and April trying to rush Casey to the hospital because Casey was mortally wounded in the last issue. Now, whether he lives or dies, I'm not going to spoil that. But some really good dialogue, and oh, Angel from the Purple Dragon, can't forget her. She was also played a big role in this. And hearing her dialogue in here, she tells a story about her and Casey that's really gripping, and I thought it was beautifully told. We also get a pseudo Hallmark moment in here from Casey's father, but it's only a glimpse, and it doesn't really make a... I guess it tries to make an impact, but it just... for me. The other story is Leonardo. He is unconscious in this issue, and he's being taken by Shredder and the Foot. Now, you would think they have him, why don't they just kill him? No. There's a reason why they don't kill him. If you've been reading this series, think back a while back. Shredder made a declaration that he wants Leonardo as his second in command of the Foot Clan. That was a huge moment, and so far Shredder is sticking true to his plan, and even pushing everybody aside to make sure this happens. And he gets in contact with one of his one of his partners in this plan, and they set into motion how they will eventually develop Leonardo into one of their own. And I got to agree with Chris. You would think that they would just simply blackmail him into following their bidding or whatever. No, what they do to Leonardo in here is simply astounding. Wow. I mean, this was very well told. Did not see this plot development coming at all. And when you think about it from the bad guys' thought process, it's actually pretty damn clever. You know, use a technique that hardly anybody knows, and what they make Leonardo see in here just blew my mind. It was just wow. I mean, no wonder we saw those teaser covers of, you know, of Leonardo supposedly now being evil. You know, I looked at solicitations for this, and I saw a cover with Leonardo supposedly now working for the Shredder. Now I see why we're getting there. Excuse me. This was fantastic. I would have done this as a back issue blog, but it's only one book. So I thought I'd just go ahead and put it here on my main review and go ahead and do it here. This was fantastic. An awesome read. I loved it. I think anybody who's a Turtle fan will love it. It was just brilliant storytelling. Alright, I only got one Marvel this week, and that was Venom number 37. Cullen Bunn is still doing a nice job on the writing. Let me hang on, I forgot who the artist is on here, excuse me. Open up to the first page. Kim Jacinto is the interior artist. Okay. Yeah. I hope I didn't butcher the name in there, but okay, on to the book itself. This is the continuation of, you know, Flash looking for the mob boss, or the villain that he has been looking for, you know, that made him believe that, you know, things can't always be so simple. Lord Ogre, I believe is his name, and we get to see just how powerful, and I mean streetwise powerful, this guy is. You know, Venom is doing his usual routine, you know, teacher by day, vigilante by night, and on the night job, he runs into some big problems while tracking down Lord Ogre, and he comes across some pretty nasty looking villains who have similar powers to superheroes. We got a guy who is similar in style to Captain America, but when I first saw his shield, I thought it was going to end up being Taskmaster, and I was wrong. We also got somebody who's almost as good an archer as Hawkeye is, and plus we got a guy called Blood Spider who kind of looks like an amalgam of all of Spider-Man's old costumes, and he kind of moves like Spider-Man, but it's kind of like a poor man's cheap knockoff Spider-Man. And it's just really good. And I love what Venom says to Blood Spider. He says, "I fought Spider-Man. Let me tell you, you're not Spider-Man." And that's just a shame, because, you know, he forms a big giant mace with the symbiote hand, and he goes, "Neither am I." And I love that. That was one of my favorite lines of dialogue in this book. This was good, but at the same time, we get some more villains showing up to ambush him. And I'm not going to spoil who else showed up, but Venom doesn't do too well in this issue. He pretty much gets his ass whipped, and when somebody else comes in, and after all the villains realize that there's a bounty on Venom's head, they all start butting heads with each other. It's like, no, I'm going to take Venom out. No, I'm going to take Venom out. So Venom has to slip out while all the villains are arguing and fighting with each other to see which one gets to take on Venom. And you got to think about it from this perspective. Flash has to be kind of embarrassed that he pretty much got his ass whooped and had to retreat through a distraction. Doesn't make him, I'm willing to bet it doesn't make him feel good. But he runs into an old friend who's going to try and help him do some investigations, try to help him get one up on Lord Ogre, because this guy is like one step ahead of Flash from what it looks like, the way the story is being told. But what really got me was the cliffhanger, was the ending. Wow, another person throws his name in the bag, wanting to get a piece of Venom, but who this person was on the last page, it made perfect sense. I'm loving this stuff. I can't wait to see where this story goes. Awesome stuff. This is the Venom storytelling that I love. Get away from that Hellspawn shit and stick to the streets. Awesome job, Marvel. The one Marvel book I got this week, and I freaking loved it. Alright. Okay, we're going to finish this off with DC. We're going to start with my pick of the week. Pick of the week goes to Detective Comics number 22, The Wrath of Batman. Oh my God. This was good. This was good. John Layman, Jason Fabok. Thank you. This was good. This was really good. Now, I loved how this story began. You know, it's like something really bad happens in Gotham, and of course Batman gets blamed for it. And then we rewind back to how this all started, and a big wig businessman. God, as much as I love this book, it pains me to say I forgot the dude's name. Yeah, there's a cop killer going around killing cops, and some of the cops are thinking that it's Batman because they believe Batman, you know, they believe Batman is just as psychotic as the criminals he brings in, which is an old subject that's been touched on several times. So I'm not really surprised that they're going that route. In fact, it keeps the storytelling very interesting. I know the last name Caldwell, but E.D. Yeah, E.D. Caldwell. He requests an audience with Bruce Wayne, and Bruce says, "I would like to personally welcome you to Gotham, Mr. Caldwell." But Caldwell doesn't beat around the bush. He doesn't beat around the bush at all. He immediately goes to Bruce, comes up to Bruce, shakes his hand, and he says, "I want to buy Wayne Enterprises." And Bruce is like, "It's not for sale. Neither am I." And he said, "Okay, just add another zero to my price." And Bruce is like, "No." He's like, "Look, I'm going to be blunt with you, Mr. Caldwell." He's like, "Thanks, but no thanks. I thought I should tell you that personally." Wow. And right away, Caldwell, you know he's going to be one of those pricks who's not going to take no for an answer. Because there's like all kinds of stuff going out throughout this whole story that's possibly linking Caldwell to all these cop murders. Plus the introduction of Wrath in this issue is very well done. And he has a henchman in here who's going around beating cops, but he's not killing them. And let's just say Wrath is not pleased with that. Let's just say, I believe the henchman's name was Scorn. Let's just say he got fired. Yeah, he got fired. Nice way to make a nice cliffhanger to this story. As to who Wrath could possibly be, I'm not going to say, but I think it might end up being really obvious, unless DC swerves us. But the storytelling in here was so well done, I couldn't help but admire it. And the artwork in here was simply fantastic. And then we get to the second story involving the Langstroms. The next part of the Man-Bat story that's going on. Oh my God, this story was just as good, maybe if not better. Kurt Langstrom is having nightmares about, you know, transforming into Man-Bat without using the serum. He's having some kind of like weird dreams or memory flashbacks about being Man-Bat, and he finds out that the Man-Bat serum is still in his system, but he hasn't been taking it. And he figures, you know, once the serum runs its course through his system, he'll stop transforming, because there are a few moments here he looks down at his hands and they start growing fur and claws and everything, and it's just really, really gripping. The police come in and bring him in for questioning, and that's where I'm going to stop it, because, oh my God, the cliffhanger of this story, the Man-Bat story, I'm going to say it was even better than the cliffhanger for the first story involving Wrath. My God. Up until now, I've been calling the Man-Bat story pretty good, if not okay. This part was awesome, because we finally get an answer as to why Kurt Langstrom and his wife, Francine, aren't really speaking to each other that much. And we get a really big reveal about what's going on with Francine, and I can't, oh wow, I can't, I'm gonna end it right there. I can't say anymore. This was awesome. And I was going into this book with pretty good expectations, and they were exceeded. This was good. This was damn good. Glad I got this. I loved it. I can't wait to see where the story involving Wrath goes. I'm really sold on, I'm really interested in where this Man-Bat story is going. Fantastic work from DC. Great stuff. I loved it. Alright. Next up. Yep. Earth 214. You're up. Oh. He tried to make sure I didn't make it for this review. He tried, but he failed. I couldn't resist. I'm going to try my best to be a good boy and talk about this book. I want to talk about Earth 2, number 14, War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Okay, I shut up. Don't you mock my singing, I'll smack you. No. Okay, no, I gotta be a good boy, or he'll flip my switch and cast me away, or whatever the fuck he says. James Robinson, Nicola and Trevor Scott. I'm still loving this series. This was a proper representation of Earth 2, in my humble, unbiased opinion. The only thing that disappointed me about this particular issue is that we got I don't think we had any mention at all of the shit that happened in the last issue involving Captain Steel. Nothing at all. But what I will say is, this issue made Green Lantern, Dr. Fate, and the Flash have big spines. What, did you think I was going to say something else? But their backbones were like made out of steel in this issue. The World Army's gonna charge in on Steppenwolf, so these three guys decide to go in early and get the first few hits in. And this was really well done. Green Lantern, I don't think he was officially declared the leader of this three-man group, so it's kind of like a de facto leadership. I'm okay with that. They really stepped it up with their character in here. They're not second-guessing themselves. They're not thinking, maybe we shouldn't attack, or, oh, nobody was saying I'm afraid or nothing. They just went in there and started busting some ass. Gotta love that. But another thing that's going on in here is that the World Army is realizing that Steppenwolf may not exactly be the stereotypical Snidely Whiplash villain. He's not so arrogant that he's not thinking things through. You have to admit, Steppenwolf may not be so stupid after all, but the World Army says they got a genius in their back pocket, and we saw who it was, but I'm not going to spoil it. No. You want me to spoil it? Tough shit. You're going to have to buy this book and learn for yourself. But as the story progressed, we got some really good dialogue from the World Army, and when the World Army finally catches up to these three wonders, there's already instant animosity between them. Very nicely done. I was impressed. Like I said, I was a little disappointed that we didn't get any mention at all as to what happened with Captain Steel, but I guess they'll get to it when they can. The cliffhanger with the end, I don't know what to think about it. I don't. Because this is the first time we've seen these three characters, and this is one of those cliffhangers that's like, oh, I would be motivated to get the next issue if I knew who the hell these three people were. You know, sometimes a cliffhanger like that bothers me. A big reveal, but we don't know who the fuck they are. Oh well, I will say this. James Robinson and everybody who worked on this shit, you did a great job. Cliffhanger didn't really wow me, but I'm still intrigued to get the next issue. So I'd say buy it. Go on, go buy it. I said go buy the damn thing. Go on. You know you want to. Give us Earth 2 people some love. Do yourselves a favor. Get this book. It's damn sweet. Just damn sweet. My temper's rising up. I gotta go. Bye-bye. Yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and let him do a review of this. I can't keep him away forever. But there you have it. Earth 2 number 14. Alright, we're going to end this review with Green Lantern number 22. This is Robert Venditti's second book of his run. Billy Tan's artwork still never seems to disappoint me. New recruits? Lara Flees craves them. And before anybody asks, no, I'm not going to be getting the Lara Flees series. I've made some new additions to my pull list, and I'm kind of stretching it here with as much as I can afford, and with all the bills and stuff, I can only afford so much. I'm not really a really big Lara Flees fan, so I think it's going to be one of those series that I can possibly live without. And Chris, if you're watching, don't bother sending it to me through Midtown Comics. I don't think I really want it. But in this issue, I really liked this. This was great. And I'm glad they decided to refocus Lara Flees being a villain, because with his power, greed, it makes perfect sense to make him a villain. I mean, can you really imagine a superhero going around wanting stuff all the time, not willing to share anything? You know, it's and don't give me Mr. Pointy Ears. Don't give me Batman, because Batman's not completely greedy. But yeah, these new recruits, I love what one of the Lanterns says. Is like these new recruits bring a whole new meaning to the term green. Oh, this was good. Hal, he feels like he's not doing so well for his first day on the job as leader of the Green Lantern Corps and everything. But there was just so many good stuff in here. There was a puzzling moment in here where they finally got the drop on Lara Flees. For a split second, everybody's rings seemed to not function, and that was really weird. I mean, Lara Flees' ring and his lantern stopped working. The Green Lantern's ring stopped working. The Star Sapphire that was there, and Saint Walker. none of their rings worked for like a few seconds, and then boom, their powers are back on, and shit gets really heavy in here. The Star Sapphire that came along with Saint Walker unfortunately gets killed, and the ring is scanning for a replacement, and the replacement it finds this ain't gonna be going well. I mean, the person that got the ring, they could tell a separate story based on that alone. The fact that I'm kinda iffy on whether or not it's a good idea to possibly squeeze this detail in with the Larafleeze things, or maybe they're dropping the Larafleeze story here and then focusing on the Star Sapphire story next. I don't know. We're only 2 issues in on this run. Who knows what's going to happen in the next issue? But for what it was, this was really good. I liked it. It was a solid read, solid issue of Green Lantern. Venditti is doing a great job, and he's only 2 issues in. That says a lot in my opinion. Very, very nicely done. And these new recruits, they don't do too bad for, for their first fight during, as Green Lanterns. There was a Green Lantern casualty during all of this, and these new recruits see what can happen when you're in this kind of when you're taking this job. And they said, Mr. Jordan, what's our first mission in what's our first rule of training? Don't look like that. Wow. I mean, I don't know if Hal took a big ego punch, but you can already tell that this job, only 1 day in, it's already stressing him out. Not to mention the shit he's going through with Carol. This was good stuff. I'm rambling on it too much. Do yourselves a favor and just go ahead and pick it up and see for yourself, and you'll probably agree with me. It was really good. Well, that's all I got for this week, everybody. I want to thank y'all for watching. I promise to get back caught up on my Dark Avenger Inc. Plus reviews, as well as my Midtown Comics Stash as soon as I get the books. Also on this here on this channel, blugoblinX, look for my recent upload of my tribute to Dick Grayson. I worked really hard on that, and I'd appreciate it if y'all gave it a good thumbs up and tell me what you thought. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see you all later.